Hello, everybody. I'm Zach,
Hi everyone,
and
I'm Casey.
in this GravityKit Live, we have a first ever look at a transformative new GravityView update that has been one of the most requested things we've had in our request list for 10 years now. So we are really excited to show you that. We're also going to show you neat ways to optimize your workflow and save time by automating routine tasks in Gravity Forms using our Gravity Forms add-on GravityActions. Again, I'm Zach. I am the founder of GravityKit.
Yeah, great to have everyone here. I'm Casey. I'm the marketing coordinator here at GravityKit.
Yeah, and so Casey, we have really stacked GravityKit Live today. But before we get down into it, we're going to be somewhere else in a month from now. Where is that somewhere else, and what are we going to be doing?
Yeah, really exciting. We're going to be attending WordCamp Europe, which is going to be in Italy, in beautiful Torino. And yeah, our whole team, well, almost our whole team, most of us will be there, including Zach and I, and we're really excited. If anybody's going to be attending, please let us know. We'd love to, meet up with you, chat with you. Um, and yeah, just looking forward to a really great event.
Yeah, and I am generally up for espressos at any time of day when I'm in Europe.
Me too.
Somehow, when I'm in Europe, it doesn't matter. I can go to bed if I drink coffee at any time of the day. So hit me up, and I will buy you an espresso. I'll buy you a coffee drink. That offer stands for everybody watching.
I'll take that offer. Um, yeah, it's gonna be great, I'm sure. Um, and yeah, so I have another quick announcement before we get into everything. This month is our add-on of the month. This month is GravityActions. So you can get it at 20% off using the code bulk editing at checkout. And we're going to be going through a few demos with GravityActions a little bit later in the stream.
Yeah, and for anybody watching live, if you have any questions or comments, please go ahead and put them in the chat. We will answer them as we see them come in. That is the benefit of
Yes,
GravityKit
please do.
Live.
Yeah, please go ahead and ask any questions that you might have.
So Casey, the cool new feature for GravityView. How do you want to? Is there any like a teaser before you demo this? Like um how do you want to build suspense for this?
Oh, well, I would just like to kind of show it and
Okay.
just do it. Yeah, I mean, this is something people have been asking for a while, as you said, and I think it's going to be quite transformative for GravityView. So it's going to be really exciting to preview it now, especially because we haven't even released it yet. So this is a special preview for GravityKit Live watchers.
All right. So this is for our main product,
Yeah.
GravityView, or our flagship product, that is. And one of the situations that often comes up when you're building out a directory, for example, is that you might want to have different ways of displaying data when it is the multiple entries layout, like we're showing here in the restaurant directory example. It's the different layout types have different benefits. Like with the table layout, you can display things really nicely with tight data density. The column views are nice. You can allow for sorting by columns in table layouts, and that's not something that we support in list layouts or DIY layouts where users can click on a column to sort on the front end. That's only in the table layout, and if you want that functionality, uh, but you want to display it differently on the single entry layout, there hadn't been a way to do that. So what did we do, Casey?
Yeah, exactly. So we now have a new feature that allows you to choose different layouts for your multiple entries page and your single entry page. So as a quick example here, we've got this table layout here. It's a restaurant directory. And if we click through to one of these restaurants, we can go to the single entry to see a bit more information about it. And yeah, things are always slow when I'm sharing my screen, unfortunately, but we'll get there. Yeah, so here we go. This is the single entry page, and it looks a little bit different. So we're actually using the list layout here, whereas on the multiple entry screen, we had the table layout. So this is really cool. Different layouts in GravityView are useful for different applications, but sometimes you might want to mix and match them. So this, I think, gives you a lot more flexibility when building views and creating designs for your different kinds of web applications.
Yeah, and how does this work? How does somebody do this in the view editor?
Yeah, let's take a look. So let me go back. I'm going to open up the view editor. I have a few more examples I want to show after that, so
Yeah.
don't let me forget, Zach. But let's head into the editor and take a look. Yeah, so here we are in the view editor, and as you can probably see on the right, just underneath the tabs at the top here, we've got this new drop-down, and this is a view switcher. So you can essentially choose a different view type. Just by opening this drop-down, you'll get a list of all the available view types here, and you can select one to change it. So we have this option here on the multiple entries layout, and then if you go to the single entry layout, yeah, you have the same drop-down field, so you can actually mix and match your view types, and it's super easy.
Yeah. So let's take a look at some of those other examples that you have, Casey. I'd love to see those.
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, so basically you can use any combination of layouts, any combination you want. So I'm going to go through just a couple examples so you can kind of see how this works. Here we've got a member directory. We're also using the list layout here on the multiple entry screen, and we've created like a nice grid here. And let's view the profile of one of the users. And yeah, you can see, so for the profile page, we're actually using the table layout. And I think personally, I think this is a really nice combination. And we've got a nice contact form, which fits in really well here. So yeah, I really like this combination. This is a list on the multiple entries and table on the single entry. So it's the opposite of what we just showed. And then I have a third example here. Here we go. We've got another view. And this time we're using the data tables view type layout here on the multiple entries screen. And if we click through to one of these applications here, you'll see here on the single entry, we're just using a simple list layout to show all the information here on the screen. So yeah, this really provides a lot of flexibility for building different kinds of layouts and gives you a lot more control over how your data looks on the front end.
Yeah, and you know, when building a tool like GravityView, this type of experience has come up for me, and I'm sure for you, Casey, year after year, as I build out views that we use internally and as examples, where it's like, oh man, I wish I could do X. And this is one of those things where I've wanted to do this for so long. And we finally have been able to implement it through a lot of collective effort. And it's, I'm really excited because our customers have asked for this for a long time. So, and I'm excited to use it on our own internal tooling.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it's really exciting, especially for me. I write a lot of tutorials, and I'm always thinking of different use cases, and I'm always inspired by customers asking questions. And this just gives so much flexibility. Yeah, I think it's just a great
Yeah, and
feature.
we can get rid of a lot of workarounds. Like in the past, we've had people do two different views and linking one to the others in order to accomplish this, and that was that was not great. So this is part of the Year of GravityView initiative that we have at GravityKit, where we're making all these improvements that we've been wanting to make forever, and we're finally knocking them down one by one, and this is a big one.
Yeah, totally. And since you mentioned that, we recently released a few enhancements to the view editor, and I thought it would be nice to go through a few of those too.
Yeah, and Casey, before we do that, there's a viewer who asks a question: is there a way to style the look of the layouts, like colors, grid lines, etc., without CSS? That is a great question, and this is another Year of GravityView initiative that we have coming up later this year. We have recommended some different tools in the past. I believe like Hero CSS plugin. Let me see.
CSS Hero, I think.
CSS Hero plugin at csshero.org. We've recommended that in the past. Yeah, it's a great plugin. But we are going to be building in functionality like that in the coming year. So by the end of the year, we'll have something that allows you to style things much more easily. So thanks for that question.
Yeah, that's definitely something higher on our priority list for GravityView, for sure. So yeah, just a reminder that we haven't released this feature yet. So it's coming very soon. We wanted to preview it. And yeah, another reminder that you can mix and match any kind of view type for the single entry and the multiple entries page. There's really no restrictions on this. So it's really exciting. But
yeah, what are some other
things,
features that we added recently that people might not know about?
Yeah, some things that we have released that you might not know about. The first one is the ability to add fields in between other fields, or add widgets in between. So you'll see if you hover between two fields, you actually get this like plus icon that appears, and you can just click that to open the field picker, and you can add a field right there in that spot. And this is really helpful if you have a view with like a lot of fields. You don't want to be having to add them to the bottom the whole time and then drag them up to the spot where you need them. Now you can just add them like wherever you want, which is really cool.
And is there a way to is there a way to duplicate fields that we might have recently added?
Absolutely, yeah. This is another thing that that is just really helpful when you're building views. So we've added this little icon here when you hover over a field or a widget, and if you just click that, it'll duplicate that field or widget for you. And this works for custom content fields as well. So if you have a custom content field with a bunch of HTML or like custom shortcodes or something inside, it'll copy it exactly as you had it, so duplicate it for you. And yeah, so that's just a couple of little enhancements we made to the view editor that'll just speed things up for you when you're building.
Nice. And we've also been we've made some changes to our search bar and added some much requested functionality there. So part of what we added is the ability to do a range-based search, which was previously you had to know exactly what you were searching for if you were searching for a number, which is not always how things work. So Casey, can you show me more about that?
Yeah, definitely. So let me go here. Yeah, I'm going to use this as an example. I think this is a good one to demo. So I've got this real estate directory, and you can see some of these apartments or houses have like a monthly rent associated with them. And one thing that is really nice is to have the ability to like search by price, but actually search in a range. So like Zach said, we've made that possible now. So let me go ahead and open the view editor. And here is my search bar widget. So if I open the search settings, I can go ahead and add a new search input. And the input field I'm going to add here is the price. And that is a number field in Gravity Forms set to currency. And here I can change the input type. So the default is text, but I can change that now to number range.
And you won't be able to see that
This is
the drop down, unfortunately, because of the screen sharing doesn't show the drop down options, but there's a number range option that didn't used to be there before.
right. Yeah. So the default was text like this, and now you can change it, number range. So yeah, let me go ahead and save that, update the view, and then I'll show you how it works. All right. Yeah, so here we go. We've got this price USD and from to. So we can set a range here, like a minimum and maximum. So for example, let me search properties that are going from $3,000 to $4,000 a month and search. Yeah, so that filters things nicely to only show properties with a rent in that range.
That's awesome. We are not the only ones who think that's awesome. Longtime customer Rob Davis says that's awesome, and Rob, we agree. Thanks for joining us.
Glad to hear it.
Cool. And so this, what types of fields does this apply to, Casey?
Yeah, so number fields. Let me see. Pricing fields, I believe, as well.
Yep.
Zach?
Yep. Price
Yep.
fields like a quantity, total fields, user-defined prices, those types of things. Yeah. And if there are
Right. So
other,
basically anything numerical.
yes. And if you have a situation where the range field doesn't work for a type of field that you want it to work for, let us know at our support team, and we will see what we can do to make that happen.
Yeah.
So we have a question from Rob Davis. It says, any plans to allow GravityImport to edit specific fields within entries versus entire entries? Let's get in touch, Rob. Rob, we have this issue as an issue in our backlog. Currently, with GravityImport, if you export an entry, you want to modify a specific field, you have to upload the CSV that contains the entire entry data with the modified field information as well. So we do have a issue in our backlog to change the way this works. Right now, well, not the right way, but like a way to do this would be with GravityActions, where you can bulk edit a specific value. But that doesn't work no, you're not talking about bulk editing, you're talking about uploading. So I'm not sure if we do have that functionality now. Rob, let's talk about this functionality in support, and we can figure that out. Good. And anybody who's watching live, please ask questions. We are happy to answer them. That's why we're here.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's the new functionality in GravityView. Casey, what's next on our talking list today? Because we have got some cool other functionality to demonstrate.
Yeah, we do. This month, our add-on of the month is GravityActions, and it's a really great plugin for optimizing your workflow and getting things done a lot quicker than you would usually be able to in regular Gravity Forms. So I thought I would go through a couple of examples of ways you can use GravityActions to really streamline your workflow and accomplish some pretty cool things.
Nice. Yeah, let's take a look.
Cool. All right, so yeah, this is the add-on we're talking about. If anyone's unfamiliar, it's one of our products, GravityActions. It allows you to bulk update entries, and you can also bulk send emails as well. And we're going to be going through both of these things right now. So as for the demo, I'm going to be going through a demo here. Like, for example, I'm using GravityView on my website, and I'm displaying a directory for with Gravity Forms entries here. And let me go to the entry screen in Gravity Forms. So here are all of my directory submissions in Gravity Forms. And there's a certain scenario that comes up fairly often, which is you have a form, you've received a bunch of submissions, and then you want to actually add an extra field to that form. And then you have a problem because the submissions that you've already received, that field won't be filled in because that field didn't exist when they submitted the form. So then you have this blank field, and to update it, you have to update every entry individually, and that takes a lot of time. Especially in this case, we have over 700 entries here on our directory. So GravityActions can solve this problem for us. So let's go through an example. I'm going to edit the form here, and I'm going to add an extra field down at the bottom. So let's go ahead and add a drop-down field. And edit choices. Let's give it a name. Let's call it status. I'll add a couple of choices here. For example, submitted, reviewed, and posted. And then I'll save the form. All right, so let's go back to the entry screen. And now we have this issue where all the entries that have been submitted don't have any information in that particular field. So using GravityActions, we can actually bulk update all of our entries to include a value for that. So I'll show you how this works. I'm going to select all the entries in this case. You don't have to select all of them, but I'm going to. Just by clicking this checkbox here. And then it comes up with a notice saying I've selected 20 entries, but I can actually select all 726 by 726 just by clicking this link. Okay, so now all 726 entries have been selected. So I'm going to then open the bulk actions dropdown here, and I'm going to select bulk edit entries, and then click apply. Okay, so the GravityActions modal appears here, and it's going to allow us to perform bulk operations on all of our entries that we've selected. So let me go ahead and scroll down to the new field that I added, the status field. And I'm going to check that because that's the field I want to edit. You can actually edit multiple fields at the same time if you want to. You would just select them here. And you can edit meta fields too. So metadata is editable and along with all the fields in your form. But for this example, we're just going to edit the status field. So I'm going to go ahead and click next. All right, so as you can see, it's blank at the moment because it's a new field we added to our form. But we want to update the status of all of our existing entries, and they've all already been posted on the directory. So we want to update the status to be posted. So when I click this, you won't be able to see it on the screen sharing, I don't think. But when I click this, I get all the different options in my drop-down field. So you can see there I've changed it to posted. That is the value I want. So now I can review my changes by clicking this button here at the bottom. All right, so GravityActions is going to give me a quick overview of what's actually about to change. And it's saying I've got 726 entries to be updated, and one field is going to be changed. And that sounds great. So let's go ahead and click Update Entries. So GravityActions is going to go ahead and update all 726 of those. And it's done. So that took just a couple of seconds. Successfully updated. Fantastic. So let's go ahead and get out of there. And now it's going to refresh the page for us. And voila, all of our entries have been updated. So we can go ahead and actually check out the status field. Let me drag it so we can actually see it on the screen. And yeah, there we go. So you can see the status field is here, and all of the values have been updated so that they all reflect that they've been posted already in the directory.
That's awesome, Casey. And so many times I've been wanting to do this when I add a new choice to a drop-down field, or I change the value in a drop-down field, which Gravity Forms, when you change the value for an existing choice, or like in a radio field or a select field, it doesn't go through and update all the existing entries, even though you think it should. No, what you have to do then is you have to go down and do a search for the ones that have that old value, check the box, select all, and then edit them in GravityActions, and that will fix the situation where you have the old choice name and the new choice name, and you want to make them match up. So when you're updating existing Gravity Forms select field choices, this is the way to do that too.
Yeah, totally. It's so quick, and it simplifies an issue that I think a lot of people face with forms. So yeah, great way to kind of streamline things using GravityActions. Before I move on, Zach, did we have any questions about that?
Not about that. I did want to highlight something that Rob Davis mentioned about our insertion of fields in GravityView in between inserting fields in between fields. Rob says, that change is so wonderful. Thank you. I've spent tons of time dragging fields and views over the years. That was an initiative led by our developer, Duca. He said, this is a pain in the neck. I want to fix this. And I said, go ahead, even though I was like, I don't know. It's not that hard. Turns out it's really handy, and seems like Rob agrees, because yeah, it turns out it's one of those nice ease of life enhancements that sometimes when I'm too close to the product, I don't even notice. So thank you, Duca, for bringing fresh perspective and sharing that functionality with our customers.
Yeah, awesome.
And we did have another question from Carl, but I addressed that in the chat. So here we go. Edgar asks, or says, I have a form with 14,000 entries. When I export to an Excel file, it consumes all the memory and gives an error. Is it possible for this export to be done in the background? Edgar, we are working on background processing, and that will apply to, I believe you're probably using Gravity Export, one of our add-ons. But if this is also in relation to GravityView, then that would be applicable there as well. We're going to be adding background processing to all of our add-ons soon. We're going to be working on that. I can't give you an exact timeline, but yes, we are aware of this. Unfortunately, for the moment, we would probably recommend breaking that into 2 different exports, and sorry about that. But that's the way to probably handle it now. All right, and keep on asking those questions. We're happy to answer them.
Yeah, please do. And they don't have to be about what we're showing on the screen. It can be about something else if you want. Okay, cool. So I'm going to go ahead and show another really cool feature of GravityActions, which is something we added fairly recently, and it's the ability to send bulk emails. So I think this is really cool, and it works in a very similar fashion. So I'm going to go ahead and do what I did before and select all of my entries. So all 726. Or you know what, for the sake of keeping things speedy, maybe I'll just go with the first 20. But But yeah, you can select as many entries as you have or you need to send emails to. And then what GravityActions allows you to do is send an email to an address contained within that entry. So it could be like the address of the entry creator, for example. So I'm going to click on the bulk actions menu here. And this time I'm going to select bulk email and then click apply. So one use case for this, like for example, we have entries in our directory, we have people that have submitted them, and we want to let them know about an upcoming change. Maybe something's going to change on the directory, or we're redesigning our site, or our website is going to go down for maintenance soon, and they need to know. So we want to send them a notification email to let them know. Business email here. And then I can put a from name in. Let me just go ahead and add something in here. From email. So let's say admin at GravityKit. Now we can add a reply to address. Let's make it the same one. And add a BCC as well if you want. And then our subject line. So let's say something like important change to directory. We can go ahead and compose our email here with this nice little editor. And you can also use Gravity Forms merge tags to actually personalize your emails, which is really nice. You can say like hello, and then open the merge tag picker. And let's see, do we have a name? Yeah, we've got a name field here. So we can add the merge tag for the name and then write our message. There is an important change coming up. ... And let's say we have a whole message here. Then I'll sign off. A lot. Casey. Cool. And then so once we have our email, once we set everything up and we're happy with it and we've double checked our email content and all that, we can go ahead and preview it just by clicking preview message. There we go. So we can do one last check, make sure everything's correct. All the email addresses are, the reply to addresses, etc. are correct, and the email body is correct. And if we're happy, we can go ahead and send the message. So GravityActions will go ahead and send that message to all of the addresses that we chose in the first step. So there we go. Email sent successfully to 20 recipients.
Nice.
So it's
and
just
this is
super easy and super quick.
This is a great way to do job application management submission. Like if you receive submissions in Gravity Forms and you don't want to have to, like, I don't know, export a CSV of all the emails or like copy and paste them into your email application or hook up something via like Zapier and have it gets all complicated. But instead, if you want to just email everybody, you can do that now. Like, thank you for applying and we will be in touch with you. Or like, congratulations, better luck next time. Bulk emails are easy to send now, built into Gravity Forms itself with GravityActions.
Yeah, totally. And it might be worth mentioning Gravity SMTP as well.
Ooh. And what is Gravity SMTP, Casey?
Yeah, so Gravity Forms recently released a new plugin, Gravity SMTP, which is a really nice plugin for connecting your website to different email sending services. So the kind of like the built-in WordPress email isn't really that reliable. It's better if you're sending a lot of emails, it's better to have a dedicated email sending service. And Gravity SMTP makes it really easy to connect to those. So you can send emails securely and reliably from your site.
Yeah, and there have been a whole lot of different plugins throughout the years that do this in WordPress, and some of them have been acquired and are now like full of ads. Some of them are by less reputable companies. And now Gravity Forms, Gravity has their own add-on called Gravity SMTP, and it's beautiful. It works really well, and yeah, it's a great addition to the Gravity world. So highly recommended. And we are not using it yet, but we will be, because I just love this functionality, and we aren't using it yet because website management is hard. And it takes, but I'm gonna get in there and switch things out, Casey. Now I've let you know that, because newsflash,
Yeah.
we're switching to Gravity SMTP.
We gotta support the ecosystem.
That's right.
But yeah, no, it's a great product, and super helpful.
Casey, we have a message from Edgar Rodriguez that says GravityActions is great. I've been using it for a while and has helped me a lot. Thanks, Edgar. That's really good to hear.
That's awesome. Yeah, so glad to hear that.
And we have a question from Scott McDonald, who asks, he says, late to the party, but regarding GravityView, is there a way to display the search fields in a vertical sidebar down the side versus in the default horizontal layout at the top and the multiple entries? And there is. We allow for WordPress widgets for the search bar to be used as a WordPress widget, not in the GravityView flow. So by default, GravityView widgets are above or below the view. You can add a WordPress widget that can be embedded in the sidebar of a WordPress theme. And we are going to be adding a WordPress, a block for our search bar. And that is something that we're planning on doing that will allow you to embed a search widget wherever you want in a full site editing theme, for example, so you don't have to have legacy widget support. Yeah. So Casey, I think that's all we have on our list to talk about. If anybody has any more questions, please ask, and we'll answer them. But other than that, I think our list of items to talk about is through. So make sure to subscribe to our newsletter for the best tips, Gravity Forms tips, WordPress tips, GravityKit tips. Our newsletter is the way to stay up to date with all the cool stuff we're doing. Casey does a wonderful job writing blog posts and introductions to this new functionality. So if you are excited about some of the things we talked about, sign up for our newsletter, and you will be able to learn more about those as they happen every week.
Yeah, please do. You can go to gravitykit.com/newsletter, and there's a form here. You can sign up. We send it every week. It's packed full of product updates and new blog tutorials and things that we've published, announcements, special offers as well. So yeah, please sign up.
Yeah, and I also, anybody wants to talk to me personally and ask me questions, gravitykit.com/consultation. I'm available. Please schedule a call with me if you want to think through the way you might be able to do something in GravityKit. You want to ask if GravityKit is even the right solution. I will tell you honestly, yes, use GravityKit, or here are some other options that you could use. I've been in the WordPress space for 15 years, and I am really happy to answer any questions that you have one-on-one. So please go ahead and schedule a consultation call, because we are here to help you succeed online, whether or not it includes GravityKit. We want you to get your job done the best way possible. All right. Well, thank you for attending, everybody who's been watching live. And please make sure, if you have any questions you want answered in the next GravityKit Live, send your questions in, and we will answer them in our next GravityKit Live. And yeah, we're excited if we're able to see you at WordCamp Europe, and we'll be there. Let us buy you a coffee or an espresso or a cafe or whatever. And thanks for being here, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next one.